Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another Huawei Women Power Talks episode. Today, we're going to talk about migrant women and new technologies, and we're going to do so with Anila Noor. Anila is the managing director of New Women Connectors, and she's also a member of the expert group on the views of migrants in the field of migration, asylum, and integration, which mission is to provide advice and expertise on these policies to the European Commission. Hello, Anila. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's a pleasure. It's actually our pleasure. We have a few topics to discuss today. First of all, according to a 2017 study from the European Research Council, new technologies are key to connecting migrant women in a way that encourages their emancipation. So how can we best harness the immense potential of technology to ensure that migrant women do not only stay connected to their home countries, but that they also become active participants in their host countries?
Yeah, thank you so much, Berta, for this question. I think indeed it's very important and linkages, and there's actually, unfortunately, when we talk about migrant women in Europe, there's a huge gaps. They're overlooked in the policies. They have been ignored. And now everyone realize like there's so much potential which been underused. So I think there's few factors which we need to address in case of making active and meaningful participation of migrant women. And when they are here as a migrant woman, there are cultural barrier, there is distance from the understanding of integration and inclusion, and we are not saying this is the fault of migrant women and this is the fault of states or organizations of cities. But the thing is that when we're talking about integration, we take it as a bridge. It's a bridge of responsibility. It's a bridge to understand each other and to take mutual understanding. Same goes with the technology, because technology need to serve for the human. Human shouldn't be made for the technology. So when we are talking about migrant women, this is happening. Migrant women instantly not see their relationship with directly with the technology, because there are hardly any role models. There is a hardly any open, friendly interests of female of migrant background can feel instant relationship with technology.
I think you're absolutely right. It's very important. We are not only talking about digital skills, but about actually helping those arriving to integrate within the technological ecosystem of each country or city or particular niche, right? It could be your workplace, it could be your network of friends, your community. So that definitely needs to be stepped up, the efforts towards that goal. There are unfortunately still many situations where women, and particularly migrant women, are vulnerable to violence and abuse. Sadly, digital abuse can also be part of this mix, making the situation even more unbearable and dangerous. So, what can governments, businesses, and the civil society as a whole do to strengthen the role of technology as a tool for good, rather than as a road to abuse?
Migrant women facing a lot gender-based violence, and online violence is one of element which been even under mentioned. They need to be recorded, they need to be response, and even a woman from migrant background are facing this kind of abuse. They have no information how to tackle it, and even how to flag that this is discrimination, this is abuse, and this is violence against them. As I mentioned earlier, women who are coming to Europe, there are taboos, there are cultural practices, so they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel safe online and offline. We need to teach the information and tell them the information. This is a safe place and how they can use it. Like I will say, my daughter, she's teenager, she's almost 16, and I'm daily when we provided her technology, because it's important and it's their right to involve and understand the domain of digital domain. But we also need to tell them what is safe way, and how, if you facing some kind of discrimination or violence and even attack or some kind of abuse online, how you can report it and how you can make it more safe. Do not leave it, do not feel afraid. This space can be protected, but you need to be tell, you need to share, and you need to complain about these things. Do not keep silent. And this is happening even in the digital spaces. women, when they face some kind of discrimination, they quit, they do not how to approach and what to do. So we need to create more kind of information and visibility, and literally need to use examples and the cases, as a best practices, how we can make safe spaces of digitalization, and we do not want to exclude them, we need to include them. So that's why do not quit, do not leave, do not keep silent. We need to share our cases, we need to share about these experiences, so we can understand this is happening. If it happens to us, how we can react, how we can respond.
You're very right, Anila. You're very right. Thank you for sharing this, and indeed giving women the possibility to actually get better information and how to bring up the cases of abuse to the police or other authorities is definitely the way to go here, so that tech can actually work for the good of society, right? On a more positive note, though, in recent years, we have seen a lot of women from migrant backgrounds developing amazing tech solutions all over the world, and in most cases, actually with very little help. So what I wonder is, what can we all do to raise awareness of the immense value of having our society welcoming people from diverse backgrounds with different skills and talents?
Indeed, this is very important, as I mentioned, and I always say this is important when we are asking women to be active, participate. We need to give them training, and there are so many women who are trying to create some kind of startups using the artificial intelligence, using the technology to be involved in the tech. But what's happening when they start and then they realize their financial capacity is lacking? They really want to create more help for other women, but they are lack of understanding. Like all these women need visibility, they need more understanding, and to reach out to more venues so they can be create more generate more income, because then they will feel, okay, this is not helping, we are not generating any income and it's not helping, and we again remaining dependent. So that's why they feel discouragement. So to give them encouragement, we need to not only design but co-design. We need to give some kind of upscaling training program, we need to give some kind of financial support, and we need to really give them full-fledged support. And it's not by having this mentality like we are helping them, but we use to this approach, this will give us as a whole of society, will benefit our future generation, will benefit a sustainable Europe. So that's why we create more venues and more training. And I also would like to highlight one thing. When we are going to design and we want to launch this kind of initiative, we need to consult more women from migrant background, and instead of taking only their feed or their suggestion, we need to give them tools and understanding why this is important and how we can co-design. And here I'm again using the word of co-design and co-planning, because then we can feel a partner, and active and meaningful partnership is important to design. Because if you want to redesign your home, it's not like you just ask some builder, okay, go and rebuild our home, but you also ask for the residents what kind of environment they want, what kind of decoration they want, what kind of color they want. Then it's like making multi-stakeholder approach, and then you can build together, which create more impact and stay more sustainability.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Anila, for sharing your views. Indeed, the more society steps up efforts to help migrant women develop tech applications, and not only, also any other thing that they want to develop as part of their career, will not benefit only these women, but also society as a whole. And I think that's the point that we want to stress. Cooperation is always better than anything else. Working together benefits all of us. So in this note, Anila, thank you so much for being our guest today. It was very nice having you, and to our audience, stay tuned for the next Huawei Women Power Talks. Thank you.